ABC in a best of 5, and that I'm expecting to definitely see Cupid Cleave come out.
Yep, Ret Hunter for sure, and it does. Oh, and maybe not actually. It's actually what? This double Ret coming out. Okay, so I certainly was not expecting this. Tana, the Restoration Shaman, playing that Ret tree, and this is really weird.
I didn't expect them to leave the gates.
Yeah,
I really thought that they were going to stay in there. Yeah.
So the double Ret, of course, there's 2 Hodges, which is 8 second or 9 second stun lock. Can't exactly calculate it off the top of my head right now. Good math. But it's a lot of damage with that wing, so maybe their plan is to just stun up Azaraf, or maybe stun up Nixie and try and get this long CC chain, just kill with double wings. We'll have to see exactly what their plan is, because honestly, I have very little idea. I can just stipulate maybe they want to rotate those wings. They do have a lot of defenses, so we do see the double Hodge comes out, and actually, it's the Trinket from Askaraf. Only 1 wings exchanged, though, so Legends Never Die, that's probably a good thing for them.
Yeah, I think that's a very good thing for LND, and also they're just handling the opening very well. We are going to see McWeedy caught in this kidney right now. I think a major thing too is when they actually do go in for damage against ABC, they need to follow it up. And we saw McWeedy have a little bit of trouble with that in the previous qualifier cup. He was able to get his wings up, but he was quickly getting just taken out of the game, and he wasn't able to follow up with pressure. We're going to have to see what 2 Reds can do against ABC.
So, yeah, I get the feeling this is a little bit of a cheese comp. Like you say, the double Rets in the past, maybe they have had a little bit of trouble. Like Rets have trouble connecting to their target sometimes because the mage can peel them so easily. But when you have 2 of them, I mean, if you only peel 1, maybe they're hoping that they can get a little bit more damage out. Honestly, it's so hard to cast this game right now because I'm not really sure what's going on. They have 2 Hodges available. They haven't used them in quite some time. I think it's just Ascroft sitting in stealth, so that's quite intelligent play from him. He comes out now, he's pre-hodding Nixie. Definitely Nixie seems to be the target of choice. There is 1 wings available on the side of Legends Never Die. We actually see the smoke bomb coming out now from ABC, so McWeedy in trouble. He doesn't have the shield wall available. The shield comes out. Is it going to be enough? That should be the bubble. Bubble comes out for McWeedy, so nicely forced by ABC. And again, Legends Never Die. They're just not pulling the trigger on these Hodges.
Oh, they actually do swap on Titana for a little bit there, get a little bit of damage in, but I'm assuming they're just going to train McWeedy. Yeah, definitely the right play. His bubble already off the table, and they have him below 50% health very convincingly, and Kron's definitely going to have his work cut out for him, trying to heal him back up to full. There's the kidney on McWeedy. They are going to continue pushing damage through.
Yeah, so ABC are forcing cooldowns, but at the same time, Legends Never Die. This is a very never die comp because they have 4 bops, a million sacrifices, all these things. Now we actually see the swap onto Nixie. He does have his Trinket, he respects that, but he might still be in trouble. The Cloak of Shadows, no evasion available, down to 30%, the silence to follow that up. Askaraf is going to save him. Maybe the Iron Bark comes out, both wings up at the same time actually into that Iron Bark, so maybe ABC kind of baited them there. They used the defensive cooldowns late, and now 2 wings have been used with very little outcome.
Yeah, very patient on that Iron Bark, and I think, yeah, that actually just kind of nulled the second wings. Yeah. And we're going to see the Rogue just manage to stay up through what was probably their all-in move to try to get a kill.
Yeah, so this is kind of the cheese coming out here. I mean, LND, the thing their comp is its strength is gonna be is this surviving a really long time because of all these bops for the Rogue, which are very annoying. And they also have a lot of burst damage with those double wings. So they basically, their win condition is to keep surviving a really long time, land the Hodge onto Ashcraft, land the other Hodge onto Nixie, and just try one-shot him. But the problem with that is, if they can't force cooldowns in between the wings is a 2-minute cooldown, and they can just trade 1 trinket each. So as long as ABC keep rotating trinkets in exchange for wings, so maybe Nixie trinkets 1 wings, Ashcraft trinkets the other, if they don't overlap that, it's going to be really hard for Legends Never Die to finish this one out.
Yeah, that's for sure. The one thing that I do like about Legends Never Die, though, locking in this comp in the first game, is we kind of talked about this earlier in the lower bracket, is a thing that, wow, a lot of damage coming in onto ABC right now, but we are going to see Asgrath heal it up pretty easily. But one of the things that we saw out of the RMD was if they don't know the comp, they can kind of sit back, play passively, still go for their setups, try to take cooldowns, and try to figure out a way to get a footing in the match. But now this RMD is going to focus down onto Tana, and we are going to see a Cyclone catch the healer sleeping, and there's the second one in DR pulling that bubble.
Yep, so they forced another bubble. A little curious from ABC that they go onto Tana there, having already forced the bubble from McWeedy, so they're kind of splitting their damage. I'm not sure how much I like that, considering the fact that LND already have a lot of cooldowns to go through. At the same time, ABC Ascraft does not have that trinket available, so I'd really like to see Legends Never Die. If they can connect to Ascraft, they need to get that double wings. They do have wings available on both Rets. You can see it right now. There's the Hodge onto Ascraft. What are they going to do with this? It doesn't look like too much damage. They're holding onto both their wings. The Hodge onto Nixie gets dispelled instantly, so well played by Ascraft. Maybe they were trying to bait out the trinket there onto Nixie Rogue, but at the same time, McQueedy does not have bubble available. The PS comes out, Bob comes out, barely surviving that setup. A lot of cooldowns traded on the side of Legends Never Die, and honestly, they're not too close to this kill right now, and they're in a lot of trouble.
ABC's starting to figure it out. They're starting to find the gaps in Legends Never Die's comp. Now the damage coming in on Tana. This may be the kill.
Yeah, potentially the wall comes out, but it's going to be too late. 2%. There's actually no bop available for the blind somehow, despite the fact they have 4 bops. I think McQueedy actually had one available, so I'm a little curious as to why he couldn't get that off. Maybe it was just the LOS, maybe a little communication mistake on the side of LND, but either way, ABC dealt with that very nicely, and LND, their win conditions were quite clear. Yeah. Like, they need to get these double Hodges, but they couldn't get it on cooldown. Ascraft just sat way back, avoiding all CC, and it just didn't work out for them.
A bold play by LND. I really do respect it coming into the first game. One of the things I was trying to say during the match when we had a little bit of time, I was like, yeah, like, I do like this move, because one of the things with RMD is they can sit back and they can try to figure out weaknesses in a comp that they don't know. But when you have 2 wings, when they're sitting there trying to figure it out, you just completely neg someone. But it looks like the RMD actually did get to do that. They figured out the weaknesses, they pulled cooldowns, they had their setups, and they ultimately got the kill. And we are going to see ABC take game number 1 off of Legends Never Die against quite an interesting abomination of a composition.
Yeah, so this is the thing, like the double ret, of course it's very interesting coming out from Legends Never Die, but rets still have that same problem we touched on in the last series where rets could have been played. That they're very easy to CC, they don't have any range interrupts, they don't have any way of really stopping people from casting. So every single time they use those double Hodges. Yeah, so small map coming out for LND here. That probably means they, well, I mean, we know they're going to play over ret anyways. Rets are favored on smaller maps because they can reach their targets. I expect we're actually going back to the double ret, so they've done some homework and they really feel confident in this composition. I mean, they were close to the kill on Nixie last game. We'll have to see if maybe on this smaller map they can connect those Hodges a little bit. They certainly have to prove me wrong because I do not believe necessarily in this right now. We'll have to see if they can get that connection. We see the sap coming out from Nixie. This is the adrenaline rush instantly, so a lot of damage onto McQueedy. He instantly trinkets out, uses that wall. The wings coming out as well. Onto Ascraft, traded trinket instantly, holds onto the barkskin, so he does have that defensive cooldown for the next wings, but McQueedy with a reasonable opener. They also force the iron back onto Daisy Duke here. That wing's doing quite a lot of work.
You can really see that they practice against the opener because Legends Never Die is handling that RMD opener so fantastically well. But as I'm saying that, McWeedy gets caught in the kidney and he's taking so much damage here. Tana caught inside of that Cyclone.
That was a beautiful play from Kronz. He gripped the smoke bomb just as it landed, meaning McQueedy was completely fine. He would have been in so much trouble. That would have probably been the bubble if Kronz did not manage to make that play. We do see the Sheeps now coming out from ABC. They failed that offensive push thanks to Kronz playing so fantastically there. The Sheep now rotated. They get the sacrifice out, and Tana now taking quite a bit of damage. The kidney over to McQueedy. I'd love to see them hit him. We do see the wings coming out from Tana. What can they get done? Unfortunately, no Hodge onto Ascraft, so a free dispel onto Nixie. ABC should be fine here.
Yeah, and we don't see them pop the second wings. They decide not to. Tana's still sitting in that wings, but they pretty much negated it. They did a very good job, ABC, but Daisy Duke did get quite low, but Daisy Duke does have an ice block on the table, and we still have Iron Bar.
Yeah, and Tana taking a lot of damage. They overlap the PS, the wall, and the bubble, so huge misplay on the side of LND there, actually. That PS was definitely to try hold on to the bubble, but miscommunicated. We now see the setup onto ABC. The double Hodge comes out. Damage onto Nixie, but again, Daisy Duke just peels Tana, sheeps onto him, no damage coming out, and they don't force any cooldowns without a wings.
We've seen a lot of overlapping on the side of LND, and I think it's just kind of the way that this comp works. Like, how are you not going to overlap? There's so much stuff flying around.
Yeah, I completely agree, and this is one of those things, maybe they just haven't practiced the comps so much. I mean, you don't want to give other teams practice if you're going to play one of these kind of oddball comps. We see Tana taking a lot of damage. The killing spree came out from Nixie there, down to 30%. Kronz gets out of CC with that Hand of Sacrifice. Tana should be okay for now. We see the setup again, cheap shot onto McQueedy, not too much happening. A fair out of the Hodge onto Ascraft, so a decent CC chain onto him, but I just kind of feel like LND, they're struggling to even work out themselves how they want to finish this game out, because every time they go offensive, they're just getting shut down.
They have no pressure when they don't have double wings. That's the problem. Now we're going to see Tana taking so much pressure from ABC. A beautiful setup here.
Yep, I completely agree. The wall comes out in exchange. They actually get the Cyclone despite the Shadow Mouth from Kron, so well played by Askraf. He knows he can play offensive. He needs to keep chaining these. The great cross CC from Daisy Duke and Askraf just tunneling down Tanner. He does not have that shield wall available. He does not have bubble available. This could potentially be the game. Kron does have Trinket. He might have to use it. The Bob comes out and it looks like he's going to be okay. We actually see the wings onto Askraf, but he instantly Trinkets. He's going to kite away the unused Trinket as well. Just playing with so much respect for that wings. ABC should be fine here, but again, Tanner does have his wings available. Askraf doesn't have Trinket. They need to get this set up if they're going to finish this one.
One thing that's nice for LND is Polymorph doesn't mess with them so much. They're able to deal with that quite a bit. We see it come off there, and then Tana caught inside a kidney shot, once again being the one to take all the pressure. It seems like ABC definitely has decided who their kill target is going to be. They're going to try to end it here, but they don't have too much to follow up.
Yeah, they look like they've run out of DRs. Oh, they actually have a full polymorph, so I shouldn't have said that. They did sacrifice it into the re-polymorph. Tana with his shield wall available once again, and now the swap onto Nixie. He's behind LOS here. He needs to be a little bit careful. Askraf blinks over to him, bashes up Kron's, should be able to keep him alive for now. Another bot comes out onto Tana, and this is what we were saying. They do have a lot of defensive cooldowns. They can negate those polymorphs because the Hand of Sacrifice from either Ret Paladin will remove that crowd control. A lot of bobs as well to reduce damage, but they're just wearing through those cooldowns so quickly. And ABC, they've used Askraf's Trinket, but again, Legends Never Die are just struggling to punish it.
It's kind of interesting to see as we move a little bit later into the game. It kind of seems like LND is kind of stabilizing in a way that each push that ABC does make is less and less threatening. But I am surprised that LND is just deciding to use one wings at a time.
Yeah, so I mean, they have two choices. They can try double wings and just blow someone up, but the way Askraf's playing it makes that incredibly difficult because he is instantly respect trinketing when he sees a wings, so he should be able to kite away from the Reds since they have low mobility. We do see Tanner dropping quite low here. The Groid comes out onto him. Kron's out of CC though, should be able to keep him up. He actually used his trinket there, so a small overlap with McCready and Kron's using both their trinkets, but it should be okay. Tanner hopefully going to survive here. And Askraf now, this is what they needed. They don't have any wings available. Unfortunately, they do get a setup, and he's actually not even going to skin this one. So
yeah, and if they were a little bit more patient there, Tana looks like he may fall down here. Pain suppression is pulled, and we do see Kron stuck in that deep. But yeah, if they waited just a little bit, Wings was about to come up. It was 5 seconds until it came off cooldown there. And if that play got set up and went into a Wings, that could have been a kill because Askraf knocked out.
Yeah, potentially, but then again, Askraf's Trinket's just back up to trade for wings all the time, and Legends Never Die, literally, they'll force Trinket from Askraf with one of their wings, and then they don't reach him again, or they don't go on him again for another 2 minutes. I don't like it at all, because I think their only win condition, if they really want to keep getting Askraf's Trinket like this, is to Hodge Askraf with wings, get his Trinket, and then go on him again with the next set of wings, with Hodge into Hodge, maybe use Trinkets, bops, offensive, whatever you need to get that kill, because if they don't, like, if they can't go for a kill like that, then they're going back to these Nixie setups, which we already saw failed in the last game.
Yeah, I mean, the other option, I'm not even sure if this is possible, to be honest, just based off of how they're using their Hodges and their wings. Do they try to just do the War of Attrition, move deeper and deeper into dampening and try to the Druid? Because he's still at 56% mana. I think that win condition probably will not work.
I mean, they can try it, but at the same time, Tana taking so much damage, they're going to have to live an incredibly long time because Reds just don't do that much consistent damage. Askraf just looks fine on mana. Kron's on the other side, down to 20%. Tana on 20% HP. Is he going to fall? He's actually casting the flash heals on himself. The double Hodge comes out to peel. Nixie going to trade out the evasion out of that one. Should be fine for now. It does keep Tana alive temporarily, but there's so few cooldown, or there's so little pressure on the side of Legends Never Die. They're just going to keep rotating through these cooldowns. Eventually they're going to die. Tana does have bubble available here. Looks like he's barely going to hold on to that one, but Kron's mana is another issue. Tana now, he should have to bubble here. The full cyclone from Askraf should secure that cooldown. Bubble used, and so little cooldowns left on the side of LND.
Yeah, and now the pain suppression is going to come off of cooldown, and we are going to see a kidney onto Tana. It looks like they may try to set up a little bit more pressure, try to maybe take that pain suppression off the board as soon as it comes off of CD. So Askraf getting him focused a little bit.
This was potentially the punish here. That was the play they went for. It looked really underwhelming because Daisy Duke played it perfectly and just peeled the entire thing. But that was the go where Askraf didn't have his trinket. There was a wings coming out from Tana. All the damage, they committed a lot there, the Hodges and the silence to that play, and they get Askraf to 50%. It's just so underwhelming, and it's just because Daisy Duke and Nixie peel it so well. They're right on the ball. They know exactly how to win this game. Kron's now completely tapped, caught up into that full polymorph. Tanner does not have bubble available, and even if Kron's trinkets here, he's going to struggle so hard to top off these rets. You can actually see he can't even top off either of them because he doesn't really have the mana to do so. He is regenning a little bit in that polymorph. Tanner at 40%. They actually bop out the kidney instead of the blind. Kron's going to trinket that one. He's struggling still to top off his team. McCready now taking damage. ABC just doing damage to anyone in their LOS. Kron's sitting down for a drink. He's going to get stopped pretty quickly, though. No mana from that, really.
Yeah, I mean, he's still like 15k mana here, 13k mana. He's definitely getting to the point that he is running on fumes. War of Attrition definitely in favor of ABC, and ABC is going to keep trying to move in, take cooldowns off the board, but we do see McWeedy in the wings right now.
Yeah, another wings and another just shutdown from the side of ABC. Beautiful cyclones coming out from Ascraft. He's just so confident. And one of the ways that Legends Never Die would also win this game is if Ascraft didn't push for those cyclones, but he's just playing it so well. He knows there's no interrupts coming out from the ret. He can just free cast the entire game. They're just winning this game with CC right now. McQueedy in so much trouble. He does have the bubble, is going to trade that one out. But again, Kron's just in CC for a millennia. He actually did manage to get some mana, but he's caught in that full polymorph. We have to see if a sacrifice comes out. It does. Well played by Legends Never Die. They are still sustaining, and we've been 10 minutes into this game, so 22% dampening. Maybe it's potentially a win condition, but they're just struggling so much
Also
to get
just,
pressure
yeah,
out.
look at the board. I mean, we have every single cooldown for this Druid right now. Every single defensive cooldown that he could possibly have. McWeedy starting to take a lot of damage, and we do have that deep. That's quite a bit of setup. McWeedy could fall down here. No more bubbles on the table. No more cooldowns. There's the Garrote.
Yep, he's in a trouble right now. Can they follow up the CC? We'll have to see Asgraf if he can get those cyclones. It looks like he's going to be able to. This could potentially be game. The full kidney. Can they get the bop off? He gets locked out on his heel. Excellent job by Daisy Duke. The recyclone from Asgraf. Can they follow it up with any Mossy C? Do they have the bash? It doesn't look like it. McCready, yep, there is that bash. This could potentially be the game. He's down to 20%. The Hodge comes out to Peel. He's down to 10%. Surely he falls here. Krons with the desperation fear. Peels Nixie at the last moment. Full Sheep is sacrificed instantly, and actually McCready survives this setup.
27% into dampening. McWeedy still holding on to dear life after a beautiful setup from ABC, but I just don't see how they could possibly win this. Here is the kidney shot coming out once again. He's already below 50% health yet again. We do see Tana caught in the poly. There's the blind, but Kron's able to deal with that pretty easily. Tana does come out with his wings, but he gets caught in a root.
Yep, the Kingsbury comes out now from Nixie. This should surely be it. There's no bops, no bubble on the side of McCready. Even if Krons is free healing, it's not going to do anything. He's down to 20%. The Wings comes out. Actually, this could be potentially a setup onto Nixie. The Bugskin comes out onto Ascraft. There's all three trinkets on the side of ABC. So even though I get excited about this play, ABC are just completely in control of the situation. Ascraft casting a cyclone there. Trinket comes out from McGreedy, down to 50% still. The Wings not really achieving too much. Heart of the Wild exchanged by Ascraft. They really need to get this kill soon. Krons has been for such a long time. I'm not sure how he's keeping his team up.
And in 33% dampening. The fact that McWeedy is alive right now is absolutely absurd.
Yeah, I don't know how he's doing it. A nice fear comes out from Krons, just kind of desperation stuff, just trying to stop Nixie doing any damage whatsoever. The kidney comes out. They have no answer to this. Surely he goes down. The deep freeze after that shadow meld from Krons. Can they finish this one? The Frostjaw, he was in the orbs. They couldn't get the sheep, but he's down to 10%. Surely he falls. The Hodge will not be enough onto Ascraft. The CC was there from Daisy Duke and ABC. It took a long time, and Legends Never Die despite overlaps living a good 10 minutes, but there was never really a time in that game where they threatened to win it.
Yeah, there were a lot of overlaps. I thought McWeedy was going to keep dancing around that cart for another year. I was absolutely blown away that he managed to live that long, especially we kept saying, Grunt, just completely out of mana. One thing that I do want to touch on in the match, just because it was such an insane play, we may not see it in the replay, that life grip on the smoke bomb.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Beautiful. So there were a lot of good moments from Tana, McWeedy, and Krons, but at the same time, every setup that we saw, it was just like, oh, this could be it, but it was underwhelming. It just wasn't enough pressure. It was like, yeah, they knock him down to 50% health. They do something, and it was the setups that we were waiting for, revolving around the Hodges, revolving around the Wings, but just was not enough against this RMD, and I'm so surprised that LMD decided to... Why'd they play this comp again?
As you can see, our observers were very keen for us to look at the time in CC there because, like we say, ABC won this game with CC, and it's not just the CC onto Krons, who was in CC for 3 minutes. It's both the Rets as well. Every single time they went offensive, it's just sheep, 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 kidney, cheap shot, whatever ABC want to throw at them. They just have so much freedom because of how much control over the game they have.
Yeah, so now LND has kind of put themselves be just follow-up kill setup. So as you can see, ABC is going to take 2 games, and LND's interesting comp, maybe not the best theory crafting ever done.
Yeah, so a
'Cause
cheese
that's
comp has to
chimerically-
win cheesily. If the opposition plays it well, then it's not going to win. They're actually sticking to their guns here. We'll have to see if they can pull it back. This is another small map. They do definitely have the possibility. Last game was 10 minutes long. In 10 minutes, any team can win.
Yeah,
Certainly
I mean,
when you have Rets on your team.
I respect the gall. I respect the theory craft. I respect seeing something new. Let's see if they can manage to pull it off this time. Let's see if they'll try anything different with the wings. ABC coming in with that standard RMD cross CC.
Yep, and a standard answer coming out from LND, the Trinket Sacrifice onto Krans from Tana. Well played by him, and there is that double wings that you wanted to see, but unfortunately Askraf trinkets and instantly blinks out, doesn't even trade the bark skin. Can they get any damage onto Daisy Duke? They need to force another cooldown because they've committed so much offensively. Heart of the Wild heals coming out from Askraf right now. They need to try one-shot him, at least get the ice block. He actually gets locked out on the Polymoth, can't peel himself too much. The Hodge coming out, but the Iron Bark is just such a clean answer from ABC, and those double wings, they forced one trinket on the side of ABC.
Well, they did get the NS and they did get the Iron Bark as well. So they got a little bit. I think I like it a little bit more, but also they're in kind of an awkward position now. ABC probably feeling pretty comfortable.
Yeah, so I think if Legends Never Die want to win this, they have to be confident enough to push in on Askraf more than every minute or 2 minutes. As we do see, Kron's trying to do that, gets caught up in the Cyclone, instantly punished. Tries to def the Polymorph, the cheap shot into the DR Cyclone. Tana in trouble now, down to 30%. No Sheeps, unfortunately, able to follow up from Daisy Duke. Hodge onto Askraf, into the DR Hodge on Askraf. Not really achieving anything, to be honest. Low Cyclone onto Tana now. Brilliant play on the side of ABC. Can they follow up onto Krons?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what they need to do right now. Tana going to get caught in the smoke bomb, though, and this might be it. We are going to see the bubble get popped here. Legends Never Die are not going to die at this point in the match.
Yeah, this just looks so awkward from Legends Never Die. I mean, Krons is trying to get fears with like the Hodges, but it's just so difficult for him to cross the map. He gets punished by so much CC. We saw the Cyclone into the full sap, so actually very good job by Nixie. He gets caught up in the Hodge here, able to get dispelled slightly late on that one by Askraf. The PS coming out onto Tana, the kidney shot. This is the adrenaline rush. It could be a lot of damage, but that PS is going to shut them down just a little bit here.
Yeah, that pain suppression really did come in strong there, but expect Tana to be the kill target here because his bubble's gone.
Yeah, I agree. And that was the killing spree onto Tana there. He's still low. The gouge coming out onto Krons. Can they follow it up? Doesn't look like a fair... I think that fear might have been whiffed. I didn't see it hit anyone, so unlucky for Krons there. Sacrifice comes out onto that DR Sheep. The Frost Shot to follow it up. Here comes the wings from Tana. They need to get the punish. Unfortunately, the DR Hodge actually on the Trinket on Askraf. It looks like he's just going to be okay to blink out of that one again. Trinket traded, but this was for only one wings.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. These Hodges have just kind of been underwhelming. This has kind of been a story of this series, and once again, ABC turning the tables, putting in the pressure all by themselves.
So LND here, they've a nice grip actually out of the orb from Krons, so well played by him. He's really been on point with those grips in this game. He trinkets out of the blind, uses fear onto Nixie. This could potentially be something good onto Askraf. They do commit the second wings here to force this bark skin. Can he kite away here? The meld, the NS comes out. Quite a lot of cooldowns on Askraf there actually. He doesn't have his trinket, doesn't have his bark skin for the next setup, but there won't be any wings available on the side of LND. They need to get a clean connection if they're going to take him down.
And kind of the awkward thing about going in with both wings is just against a druid, all of his cooldowns are going to be up by the next time that you go in with double wings. I mean, Heart's off the table, but he's very easily uses... Oh my god, Tana taking so much damage.
Yeah, the killing spree came out from Nixie there. He gets feared up when he's at 20%. Tana struggling so much here. Krons caught into that full shape. Do they have a sacrifice? One sacrifice comes out. The step from Nixie onto Tana, but no CC really onto Krons. That was so close, but well played by Legends Never Die, able to survive once more.
Yeah, it's crazy how much work NS has done against the double wings. NS has just been absolutely bonkers this game. Tana once again getting caught in a kidney. They're trying to set up another kill.
Yep, they're trying to, but there's a lot of cooldowns on the side of LND. That orb, unfortunately, ticking onto Krons, so Krons doing an excellent job there on the deep freeze, walking into that orb, meaning he could not get polymorphed off that. No follow-up CC available from Askraf either, so Legends Never Die gonna survive another setup here. We do see the Hodge onto Nixie actually able to be dispelled by Askraf once more. And Askraf just... he's max ranging the entire game, which makes it so hard for them to cover their CC onto the DPS, and it just makes it so easy for ABC to play offensive.
Yeah, ABC is kind of able to control the tempo of this game. That's just where they're sitting right now. Their CC is better, and they're able to just kind of keep Legends Never Die at bay.
Yeah, I completely agree. These Rets are just kind of stuck to their pillar. We do see Tana trying to play a little bit offensive, and Krons says nope, grips him straight back to the pillar. And unfortunately, that was on when they were trying to swap to Askraf here. The wings comes out late, instantly trinketed again by Askraf. I really like that play. Able to dispel Nixie as well. So
here's a swap onto Nixie. They're doing a little bit of damage here, but Askraf really shrugging it off, able to heal very clean. It looks like we may see the same thing that we saw out of the last game.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be really hard for Tana and McCready to get the connections they need. Deep Freeze came out there onto Kronz. He actually got a little bit of mana with that drink, so that's going to help him survive longer. The blind is trinketed as well, so a nice exchange. We actually see the second wings comes up, but this is answered by the smoke bomb. That is a 20% damage reduction. Askraf in trouble here, able to survive that. The bomb and the spark skin going to be enough. He actually melds and blinks out of there, so a lot of cooldowns traded by Askraf, but it is enough to keep him alive. Killing spree, adrenaline rush now on the side of Nixie. He's trying to go offensive onto McGreedy. Do they have the follow-up CC? Sacrificed by Kronz into the full cyclone, so potentially trouble, but the Rets just kind of off-healing each other. Looks like
they're kind of just trying to keep each other up. They're juggling a little bit. One of the things that I do like that they're not synced up on their wings now is they were able to pull additional cooldowns off of the Druid by using the second wings at a different time. But at the same time, this strategy really hasn't done so much for you. Maybe you should have kind of kept both wings, been using them at the same time. Once again, though, falling into dampening. We're already 7% in.
Yeah, and that was actually an example of Legends Never Die getting quite close to a kill, as we do see them onto Askarov again. They don't have any wings here, but they're able to get some quite nice damage out. That's going to be answered by the NS. Askarov in the last setup was in a lot of trouble, but Nixie instantly came with the smoke bomb. Of course, that's a 20% damage reduction on top of the bark skin was enough to answer one set of wings. Askarov just sitting pretty right now. He has the bark skin available, trinket up in 20. He should be perfectly okay to deal with the set of wings coming out from Tana in the near future. He's playing quite offensive. Actually looking for the drink right now, so this would be really nice if he could just top up his mana before dampening starts.
Yeah, I think going for that drink is definitely a good move too, because the main thing on your mind is ABC. Just what is our win condition? Where are we actually going to find an opening? Because both of these Rets just are refusing to die. They can go into dampening again and try for the same thing, but I think they want to secure something else. And wow, so much damage coming into Nixie. The Iron Bark is blown, but that's a lot of pressure.
Massive misplay on the side of ABC there. Nixie and Askarov, they've finally done it. 3 games in, they make the mistake of overlapping those trinkets. Now Legends Never Die have one clear chance to win this game. They have the wings of McCready in 2 seconds. If they can land up those double hodges and stop Daisy Duke from peeling them completely, they can win this game by killing Nixie. The question is, are they going to be able to do it? McCready in a lot of trouble now, caught up in that kidney shot. They need to push in now. This is the first real chance they've been given to win as this composition on that mistake from ABC.
Yeah, and we do see McWeedy kind of dancing all over the map because that was a really good setup onto him. It's too much pressure and they weren't able to set it up, but we do still have the wings. We're looking for it right now. Double Hodge. Yep,
this is the wings. This is potentially the kill. Pre-fainted the fear to follow up. Unfortunately, the evasion and the cloak shadows, there just wasn't enough damage in the wings. You could see Daisy Duke spamming out those polymorphs. Very well played by him. Completely aware of the situation. I'm sure they communicated that mistake, and that was the wing condition. It hasn't happened, so it's going to be very difficult for Legends Never Die. The trinkets will be up for the next set of wings coming out from Tana, so very bad situation.
Like on paper, it seems like there's a lot of setup potential for Legends Never Die, and then every time it's just like it kind of all the cooldowns align perfectly that when they miss the one setup, they get another one. But a lot of damage coming into the healer for ABC.
Ooh, yeah, and that's actually going to force a defensive smoke bomb and the bark skin without any wings. So that was very nice on the side of LND. I'm not sure how they were able to get 2 Reds connecting onto Askarov in the middle of the map like that without Daisy Duke responding. Maybe a little bit of complacency on the side of ABC here. We do see the CC onto Kronz also dropping a little bit there. They used the defreeze, weren't really able to follow up. So ABC, they need to shape up a little bit to end this one. We're getting into some quite heavy dampening here. It's at 20%. Tana taking some damage right now. Kronz, he keeps using the Spectral Geysers to get drinks. So one of the nice things about Disc Priest is Spectral Geysers will make you drop combat. That's your stealth ability. And you can use that to drink. We see the killing spree coming out from Nixie now. The wings on Tana, he's actually trying to go onto Daisy Duke. I'm not sure how much I like that target choice, just because he has 2 blocks and he's going to get punished for it. Down to 1%. Bubbles of 1%. So close to dying.
What a clutch bubble. I'm a little bit curious. Do we see Kronz have Spectral Guys in the previous matchup? Because he was having a lot of trouble actually getting his mana up.
Yeah, I think he was just kind of using it to avoid CC and to push in and try get those fears onto Askarov maybe. I didn't really see what he was using, but at the same time ABC are doing a great job of stopping those drinks quite quickly regardless. Tana gets caught with the PS right now. He should be okay. Actually overlapped a little bit with the wall. He could be in trouble after this. He doesn't have any damage reduction. The fear comes out, doesn't really achieve too much. This polymorph answered with the bop, that kidney. Legends Never Die, it's just it's so difficult to say when they're going to die because you have to track so many cooldowns. Pretty much all those things on the left-hand side of your screen under the cooldowns bar are defensive cooldowns, but it's not going to be enough. Tanner falling in the end, that Bob coming off, and that's going to tie up the or win the series in favor of ABC.
Quite a lot of buttons to push, but at the end of the day, it's not going to save you from the inevitability that ABC was bringing. I was a little curious to see as we got into dampening the second time, we got to 30% yet again. I was a little curious to see if maybe this comp actually did fare well and they just kind of had a bad match the first time around, or sorry, in the second game. But it looks like this two Reds might not be the way to play against RMD.
Yeah, I don't know. They were presented the opportunity to win this game. ABC did make the mistake, which was definitely one of the big ways LND could win the overlap on the trinkets. It was the only time they did it, so they played incredibly well. It's the only time in the entire game. But ABC just have so much control. Like you can see, 3 minutes CC on McGreedy, 2 minutes on Tanner. It's just so difficult for them. And you have to bear in mind, ABC are spending the majority of the game doing damage to those DPS as well. So if they can't control their character whilst they're taking all this damage, it's just so difficult for them to ever create anything. And like we saw, they were never really that close to the kill.
And now LND has to go up against a team that fared very well against the comp that we thought that they were going to play, but had they played against two Retribution Paladins?
Yeah, I think two Rets are always going to have an issue with these big caster comps just because they